Before the video begins, I would like to inform you that I have a Discord server. The link for it will be in the description. Now without further ado, let's head on to the video. Hello traveler! For today's video, I'm going to talk about another story I have. This time, it's a Sonic AU. Let's talk about it. A warning for today's video. I started being interested in the Sonic fandom since 2020. I'm still learning about it overall. The stuff that I talk about is stuff that I like and want to use. Any tips or ideas are welcome, just be nice about it. Thank you for listening. This AU is called Sonic Storylines because I have at least 4 different perspectives happening. Think of it as a slice-of-life situation where the main characters interact with canon characters. For the first story, we're introduced to a human character named Sunset Hazewood. After the events of Sonic Unleashed, some individuals around the world have obtained some remnants of Dark Gaia, Sunset being one of them. While some use their newfound powers for evil, Sunset is among the few that uses her powers for good. Her efforts weren't overlooked because some recruiters of the Resistance were in Empire City. So for most of Sunset's story, she's merely a rookie and does her best with certain missions. She would mostly interact with Sonic and Amy. Fun fact, she used to be a persona of myself, but with a few redesigns down the line, she's her own character now. I want to give each story a title, so I'll just call this one The Rookie. For the second story, we're introduced to a mutated Chao named Virtue. After a situation that caused her to mutate, she lost her memories. The only thing she has from her past is a white Chaos Emerald. Along the way, she meets Silver. He's an important individual in regard to her past because he's her first friend. The majority of Virtue's story is mostly about Silver and her rekindling their friendship. I want her story to have an antagonist, but I'm still working that out. Fun fact, I made Virtue as a what-if scenario. She's basically my persona if she ended up in Sonic's world. Her story will be called In the Present. For the third story, we are introduced to a hedgehog named Nyx Direblood. She works for Gun with her co-worker, Hudson Weaver. One thing to note about her is that she's a vampire. While she doesn't burn into the sun, she's super weak, so she mostly does her job at night. That's when her powers are at their peak. Despite her being a vampire, she doesn't really use her abilities thanks to her mother. Her father, who's also a vampire, gives her a supply drop every month so that she's well fed. She would also interact with Team Dark because she used to be Shadow's apprentice. He, out of everyone else, had a feeling that something was different about Nyx. It wouldn't be until a certain event that would out her as a vampire. Most of her story would consist of the usual life of a worker that's hiding an important secret. Fun fact, she used to be a hedgehog-werewolf hybrid, but a friend of mine suggested that her name sounded vampire-adjacent. Also, she's Irish. This story is called Night Shift. For the last story, we're introduced to 2 characters, a girl named Amanita Galactica and an experiment that Amanita named Opal Dash. Opal Dash is the first of a group of artificial species who are tasked to protect Mobius from creatures that Amanita's family escaped from their home planet. As a test run, a few of the creatures were given to the Resistance and Gun for testing. These creatures have abilities that are similar to what the canon characters have. For example, Opal Dash has Sonic Speed and Silver's Psychokinesis. Think of these experiments as living fusions. Not only will this story focus on Opal Dash getting used to his powers, his purpose, and who he wants to be, Amanita also learns the same things as well. This is due to a fate she can't avoid. They will mainly be communicating with Tails and Knuckles. I also plan to have an antagonist for this story, but still thinking about how that'll work. This story is called Project Guardian. That is the main premise of this AU. The title of the AU itself is what I want to change, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all for this video. Take care, and stay wild.